Polyform grows out of many years of experience in the building industry in the field of design and manufacture of structural precast concrete. It unlocks the hidden potential of polystyrene for use in formwork. The inventions use polystyrene as formwork for all primary components in construction, namely suspended slabs, beams, stairs, walls and columns. We asked Wolf Binder all about Polyform.
In 1999, I received a call from a company in Cape Town asking if I was interested in buying an agency using polystyrene blocks in conjunction with precast concrete ribs for suspended slabs. I was already manufacturing precast concrete ribs in my precon factory and saw the potential in the use of polystyrene rather than precast concrete blocks. However, I foresaw a problem as the coefficient of thermal expansion of polystyrene is far greater than concrete. This would cause cracks in the sealing finish at the interface between the blocks and the ribs. I had some inspiration. What if I replace the concrete ribs with polystyrene and key these into the sides of the blocks? The bottom line is cost saving over the other systems, the principle of which is the number of advantages each component has. The polyslab has them all, and I knew I had a winner. Here they are, the blocks. Firstly, they act as fillers, replacing unnecessary concrete. Recycled polystyrene is less than half the cost of concrete. Secondly, the polystyrene is 2/100th the weight of concrete, resulting in massive weight saving. This weight saving dramatically saves on reinforcement required in the slab and reduces the size of foundations. Thirdly, they act as permanent shuttering and are strong enough to support the constructional loads and weight of wet concrete between lines of temporary supports. Fourthly, the excellent insulation reduces the need for air conditioning, resulting in substantial savings in the ever-increasing cost of electricity. The ribs, firstly, act as permanent shuttering. Secondly, by keying into the blocks, they are firmly supported. This also provides a seal against leakage of cement slurry. Fourthly, it also provides 15% constructional point load sharing between the blocks, proven by SABS tests. Fifthly, they provide additional insulation and a continuous polystyrene sealing, avoiding cracks in the skim coat. We prepared design graphs for standard 2, 3 and 4 course deep poly slabs, which form part of a design manual available to engineers. I then invented the polystair system using the same design as a poly slab, but placed at the required angle. Polystyrene treads are then planted on the wet concrete topping, which are finished off with a ferrocement screed. High-density polystyrene formers for reinforced concrete poly beams and poly columns were also tested under the surveillance of the SABS. Polystyrene provided by our suppliers is fire retardant, non-toxic, moisture resistant, compatible with concrete and rot proof. The first builder to use the poly slab was so impressed with the price and ease of erection of the system that he bought an equal share in the business. From his investment, our patent attorneys conducted an international search of the poly slab, and we were granted a PCT patent. This opened opportunities to establish patents in 100 member countries and sell agencies of the products. Here are some of the first houses in which the Polyform products were used. I received a call from the leader of a delegation of South African inventors asking me to join the team to the Geneva 2000 International Inventors Exhibition. I saw this as an opportunity to test our products on the international arena and was delighted when at the award ceremony we were first awarded the trophy from the Polish Institute of Inventors for the best exhibition on the show, and then a gold medal with a special commendation from the international jury. In 2007, Polyform was awarded the contract of providing roof slabs over the vendors' kiosks in the Freedom Square taxi rank because it was the only system that could handle the curvilinear shapes. The Polyform retractable slab was used for a B&B in Hilton, as it has a suspended ceiling to provide space for services, making the seating configuration unimportant. The sides of the polystyrene blocks used have a slight taper, and the polystyrene is dressed with thin plastic sheeting to break bond with the concrete. This enables the formwork to be retracted and reused several times. The blocks used in poly slabs can be made to any depth, enabling spans far greater than precast concrete slabs. This slab used at the FET laboratory block is 500 mm thick and spans 9 meters. It also shows the typical temporary supports. Here are some of the buildings built over the last few years using the polyform products. Polyform also erects the formwork for all their systems.
Hi, I'm Garth Roach. I've been associated with Polyform since the early days in the late 90s. I ran the Gauteng agency up in the little city. We did several projects. They all tended to have the same common feature in that they were creative. One of the huge pleasures of doing a slab with the polyform system is that this is the equivalent of 2 blocks which I can lift up and throw around like a tennis ball. This is a block from a typical ribbon block system which I can't get above my head. So you can see the ease of it. This section here is a typical 1.8 meter rib former. This is a typical rib from a ribbon block system which I can lift with some difficulty. Hi Glenn, welcome, thanks for coming along to this. How did you experience the polystyrene, the polyform formwork?
Well, when we had our initial meeting, it was pointed out that it will save time, number one, and it will be easy to work with, and that we did experience. And it was getting the stuff from the ground floor to the first floor was very easy, and it's very user-friendly.
How did you experience the scary part of pushing wheelbarrows and scaffold boards around when you were throwing the concrete?
Surprisingly, the polystyrene was very strong. We did not have any pieces break, so we just put planks across, scaffold board planks, and it was very strong.
And how did your subcontractors experience the thing, your electricians and plumbers?
At first they were skeptical. They wanted us to put a suspended ceiling, and they had tremendously to the cost. But then once you came in and showed them how simple it is, they done the 2 rooms in one day, where they had the piping, the boxes, and the wires in, all in one day. So they were very chuffed by the way it worked.
But you're going to have to skin this roof. What do you think in comparison with the ribbon block? What do you think you're going to experience?
We've had a look at it, and we've climbed up and just to get our level. There's very few bumps. With the block and lintel, while you're putting concrete, the block goes out of place, you get quite a bump where you got a pepper, but it looks like it'll be very, very little packing on the Rhino line, the Rhino glide. I don't see much trouble here.
And if you do have high spots, you can just wire brush it.
You can wire brush it off, yes.
And just take the high spots.
Compared to chipping that I am going to chip.
The polystyrene in poly slabs also provides free insulation. The BFBA Electrical Consultants report states that the savings on artificial cooling and heating is 10% of an electricity bill in summer and 5% in winter. Air conditioning may not be required at all, as there is a significant improvement in the comfort level of the building.
We asked Patrick Gould about the comfort levels of a polyform structure.
We built our house some 12 years ago, and our builder recommended that we use the polyform system for the decking because we have an upstairs area to our house. But the main advantage for us is the fact that the comfort levels in the house are really very good. In winter, the decking tends to retain the heat downstairs, and in summer the house is exceptionally cool. We've noticed other areas in the house where the decking hasn't gone across to that section of the house. There's a very distinct difference between the temperature levels under the decking and not under the decking. So we highly recommend this decking, primarily from an insulation point of view.
What about direct savings over equivalent conventional solid reinforced concrete slabs? Hi Andy, tell me a bit about your business.
Well, I'm a quantity surveyor. but my background has been largely with contracting company. My experience has been more on a hands-on practical approach. I've done a fair amount of time with the professional offices as well, but largely contracting.
Andy, we asked you to do a cost comparison of the polyform slab with conventional reinforced concrete slab, shuttered slab. What are your findings?
The reinforced concrete slab we found at about 775 Rand a square metre, whereas your product was at 538 Rand a square metre, which amounts to a 30.5% saving.
Polyform plans to establish agencies throughout South Africa and into other nations.